even if you're 18 years old, okay, and you're living with your parents, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're in school or you're in college or in trade school, you're still an adult. And I feel that parents should have that understanding inclination that I understand it's your kid. They're an adult. They're going to have to fuck up. They're going to have to make mistakes. That is the point of being an adult. Like, to baby them and be like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't. Like, come on. You're not letting them experience life. You're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see. I don't know. I don't see.
Welcome to American Groove.
Yeah, motherfuckers. Welcome to American Groove.
Welcome to American Groove. I feel like I've seen parents do a lot of different things with their kids that are over 18. I feel like this is definitely a topic because we have a lot of people living with their parents past the age of 18 because it's basically next to impossible.
The both of us, the duo, the group that gives you this podcast. We both live with our fucking parents. That's the point. We live with our parents.
It is the new,
yeah, it's new. It's what we're gonna say. I'm sorry.
It's the new way of doing things. Like, I mean, my parents asked me to move home. I feel like, and then it just like happened, and now, I mean, I could move out, but I keep getting like closer to like saving, and I don't know. I mean, I look at places, but it's still just kind of outrageous, and I ended up doing the car instead. But I could move out. I mean, I could have a place. It's just that this opportunity to kind of like save money is pretty special, and I've been under a lot less stress with not having to pay my rent every single month. Hell yeah. Yeah. How about we talk about like snacks for a minute? I was gonna
just to tie into and just to end like off what you were saying, we're like, I was talking because like I kind of have a core group within school. I'm currently in trade school. Just to recap, I've said this so many fucking times, it's coming out of my nose. But we've kind of figured out, in order for us to start our career, we kind of want to move to Texas. We all get along to a certain degree. Like, so why don't we just live together? Why don't we just get a house and be able to split the cost between... We're in that mindset where, like, I understand people want to be by themselves. That's fine. Right now, if there's people you really care about, people that, like, are in your trade or, like, within... Think about that for a second, because that might be a way of you getting into a house, you know, you getting out of your parents' home, and being semi-independent. But yeah, so talking about snacks.
I lived on my own.
Yeah, talk about snacks in a second. Yes,
I lived on my own for like a really long time, like a good 10 years or more.
A fuck ton of time. 12 years, honey. It was more. 12. Yeah. But yeah, talking about snacks, I have your mom turned me on to I think it was your mom or your dad that turned me on to, it's called Bavarian Meats. You can pick them up in Target. I know they're in other places as well. These are amazing. Okay, it's like a smoked sausage. It tastes smoked, and it's a little bit of salt. It's got like this great like wrapping, and it's like cured just right. I'm not even high yet, and I'm enjoying the crap out of this.
I like that it's kind of spicy, like just like a little bit.
Yeah, just at the touch. Yeah,
I haven't been cooking dinner for myself like as much as I used to. I think a lot of us can relate to that.
Oh yeah, and we're both so busy. When do we have time? Like, I just burnt 2 steaks tonight. I just totally forgot they were in the oven. And, you know what I mean? Like, that stuff happens really too. Yeah, you forget to make dinner or you burn dinner. Those are your 2 options these days.
I just feel we're in a snack, kind of like snack culture recently.
I think it's because of all the. I think it's because of all the ultra processed food, right?
Everybody's just like so busy, so it's more about kind of like snacking, like eating food when you can. I wanted to point out that I got these, which were Girl Scout cookie like balls.
Oh my god, those are bites. Those are
bites.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're the coconut clusters.
Yeah, that's the shit. Right there. Do you know what's like? You know what that's great with?
This was so stupid good. Like
that is great with homemade vanilla blue ribbon.
Yeah.
Blue ribbon ice cream. Yeah.
Just with like some real good vanilla ice cream. I really like the Tillamook vanilla bean. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one that has a little. You see like little black specks within the.
Fuck yeah! The vanilla bean with the black specks.
Right? It's so.
And when it. Sorry.
And when it's on sale
on the podcast.
Oh, who fucking cares? I don't care.
Yeah, but my podcast.
Fuck you, people. Our podcast. But when you see that shit on sale, that stuff sells out. Like, all the other flavors are available. That one goes the quickest. And there's a reason for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or just
faster than the chocolate.
I think that people really underestimate, like, vanilla ice cream. Like, I know it's, like, real vanilla. Like, it's super basic. But, like, one of my favorite things to do, because I'm not a milk drinker, so, like, I don't dip my cookies in milk. Like, what I do is...
Such blasphemy, but it's okay. We've come to accept it.
I take, like, a chocolate chip cookie, and I put it, like, at the bottom of a bowl. And then I put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of the cookie.
So it's like an open face ice cream sandwich.
That's my bottom cookie. Okay, that's just the base. That's just like...
Yeah, but it's technically it's an open face ice cream sandwich. You're just missing one.
But then I take cookies and I put cookies all over the top of it. Like I just like, but like my bottom cookie, like as all of the ice cream melts, it soaks up into the bottom cookie. But that bottom cookie is like it's a stoner secret, man. Like, because at the end you eat that thing and
it's still an open face sandwich.
Yeah.
Ice cream sandwich. Yeah, but I see what you're saying though.
But see, like I don't dip my cookies in milk, so instead I just let the cookies soak up the melted ice cream. It's kind of the same kind of thing.
Well, it's kind of like the idea of like using a waffle cone, Like when you have a waffle cone, like the waffle cone absorbs the ice cream, so like it gets it also soft. Like it's no longer a hard waffle. But wait, I love how like we went from living with your parents to snacks. Just saying. Great segue, by the way.
I had like no money when I wasn't living with my parents. Like just that last year rent was like way too high and I didn't have very much money coming in and I really didn't have much money for snacks. You know what I mean? Like I was just kind of getting by. So I think snacks have definitely been something that I've let myself enjoy like a little bit more within this past year. And, I do that thing, the order online. It's called like Imperfect Produce or like Misfit Market.
Yeah, Misfit Market. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They give you like stuff that nobody wants at a discounted price.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's kind of a gimmick because like they kind of charge you. They keep charging you more money as you start ordering, if you notice.
I haven't. What I did is like I doctored all of my like delivery times so that it only delivers it once a month. So I just shut off like 3 deliveries out of the month and I just go through and I select all of my favorite snacks that they carry and I just get all my favorite snacks at like a discounted price delivered to my house once a month instead of like trying to get all kinds of things through them or like what they want me to get. I just take what I want out of what they have. But when I don't have the budget for something like that, I just don't. But they are the only people that carry one of my favorite potato chips. And so right now I've been still getting my chips through them. And then they have like seasonings and house supplies like your flour and your oil and stuff like that. So like usually when it doesn't have the kinds of things that I want, I'll take it as an opportunity to be like, this is the time that I should just like, get the oil that I needed, or like, I needed some flour or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's weird because I think for the first time in a while, I'm 20, I'm only 25, but I remember when things were cheap.
Okay? Yeah.
I remember snacks were something you could afford because it was, you sometimes had you had leftover money for other stuff. And the thing is, like, we don't generally think about, and I'm being serious right now, the amount of times we spend over a meal experiencing things, even like snacking on things. We have experience with people. Like there's this flow and energy almost where you just get to sit down, have some munchies, have a good time, just talk, just air things out. Like, we don't have to make sense for 30 minutes. Like, I'm going to be straight up and real. Like, we don't have to be cohesive. We can do whatever the hell we want. The idea is like to be able to have that luxury or ability to have those snacks. It kind of like upgrades the conversation. Does that make sense?
Well,
this is really like upgrading my mood right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am in seventh heaven with every fucking bite of this. But yes,
I mean, there's something that's going on with human beings when they're sharing flavors, and they're sharing something with each other. And I mean, there's a lot that goes on subconsciously and psychologically, like with where the food is actually coming from. Like, let's say like you came to my house and I made us food. Like, that really, really does strengthen and bond a relationship more than people would think. Like, it might just kind of be like, yeah, come over, but like it really actually, like, there's a lot of chemical things happening between two people when one person makes the other food that may, even if you're trying to not have a big moment there, it kind of is. Like, it's just like natural. But
yeah, very much so.
I would say that there's also, things about like where it comes from, like who's providing it. I mean, there's a lot that comes with, a caretaker, a mother, that works all the time and has the food for the kids, or the father who has the food for the kids all the time, that, changes things. It's like, I do think that there's so much more happening there than actually just like the food.
There's memories that are tied into those experiences. I mean, I can tell you on both of my hands how many different foods I have memories tied to. A lot. When I see Bavarian meats, I immediately go to that thought of like, your mom and dad's mobile home in Florida.
Which
like
got pretty torn up.
Yeah, I could imagine. It did?
Yeah, it did.
Badly?
Not like the roof is still there. Like the actual structure of it is still together, but they lost some windows, were blown out, about 4 windows, and then all the siding on one side of the place. But structurally nothing was like crushed, like I just worry about like a whole chunk of it, like, or something like that. But
There's a
it was
way.
Really,
there's a
all
way
their
of.
decorative stuff blew away, like everything. Real, yeah.
But that stuff can be replaced. I mean, the main thing is that it hasn't been destroyed, so
Yeah,
it's not gone.
destroyed. They still have no power.
Are they out there right now?
Yeah, Mom and Dad went down there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because the windows were blown open on their place, and you could seriously just fucking reach your hand right inside of their home. And so, like, it's not secure. And plus, like, Dad said that the siding is blown off and it's like all exposed. So, like, if it rained, water would get like inside, of the structure. And plus, if it did rain, water would blow through those blown out windows. So, Mom was like, we have to go down because the home's not, closed up.
Oh my God.
So then they went down there, but there's still no power. So Mom and Dad have been down there in the heat with no air conditioning for a minute.
Yeah, people just don't like. I live here in South Florida, and like, we didn't get hit so bad. We've been having an insane wet season, like constant rain, and people don't get like the constant flooding is because we had so much rain. And then on top of having so much rain, we had Helene and we had Milton. Like, we got hit here with tornadoes. Okay?
I heard about that.
Yeah, we got hit with tornadoes out here. We didn't even get hit with rain, and we've been having rain for weeks. We had flooding here in South Florida.
I think you and I say tornado different.
Tornadoes. Twista. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's probably going to sound the same either way I spin it. But
well, I say tor and you say tur.
Tornado.
Tornado.
It's funny because the other day, one of the kids in my class, he's like, man, dude, your accent kind of sounds black. And I was just like, bro, I don't make this shit up. Okay? I've been so many, like, I don't know, because, like, I don't traditionally have, like, that New York accent, but I do kind of have, like, almost a Southern twist to the way I talk. And if I think about it, I can actually hear it. But
you're just more cultured than most people.
I guess so. Maybe that's what it is.
Like, you've lived in different places.
In the ghetto. And his mama cried. In a pouring gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby's born in the ghetto.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so to your point, though, like, I'm really happy your parents' like mobile home did not get destroyed like crazy, but
not like crazy, but they were having a hell of a time.
Yeah, it's been a wild like month or so. I mean, when I say rain, we're talking about like biblical amount of rain, all right? Like,
did you
monolith of rain? Yes.
In the Torah, do they have
the Old Testament? Yes.
Do they have the story where Moses separates the Red Sea?
Yes.
So I heard this story that
it's in Exodus.
Yeah, but I wondered if it was like also in there. It's in Exodus for us.
Exodus is part of the Torah. We call it Shemos, but it's Exodus in English.
Yeah, I was just kind of like translating it by asking the question that way.
Mm-hmm.
I was like wondering if
yes.
Well, anyways, I heard somebody say that the Red Sea at that time wasn't actually more than 5 feet tall.
Okay, so there was a religious rabbi. It was also a scientist.
Have you heard this too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted to prove that the 12 plagues that is mentioned in the Old Testament can be proven by science. I don't remember all of the reasonings he gave, but they were all pretty accurate. The one that he gives with the Red Sea is this. There are what are called currents. So in parts of the world, you'll have current flowing in one direction.
Yeah.
And then you'll have in other parts of the world where current will be flowing in the other direction. Okay? And I don't understand all the laws, but it has to do with something with our magnetic poles because we have a north and south pole. Okay.
In South America, the toilet spins the other way when it flushes.
The other way, right. Now, there is a thing that can happen where you can get an earthquake underneath water. Yes? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Now, when you get an earthquake, what happens is those plates start to shift, and then the water starts to lower down. Now, at the time, the Red Sea, excuse me, was kind of like, here you have land, here's where it dips down, and then it kind of does this. So it kind of has like a little mountain in the middle of it. So it was kind of deep at the edges, just a bit, but it was kind of shallow in the middle. And over time, like it's kind of lowered. By the way, believe it or not, to this day, there are certain ships that cannot go through the Red Sea because it's not deep enough. Now, if that's the case, the water would then lower for a certain amount of time, making it possible for someone to cross the sea.
Yeah.
There's your answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that shit. Because it's like, wow. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Proof of this is tsunamis. Once those plates water's getting pushed. You got two parallel opposite directions. They're going to push the water in opposite directions.
Yeah, it is fascinating.
Yeah. Was that what you're trying to get at? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if I went on.
Just that I heard that the other day, and I was just thinking, I might as well ask David what he thinks about it. And I'm glad that I did, because it's something a unique little, it's something that and then the person who said that, they're teaching about how like God stopped the Egyptians, and so the person like chimes in and says like, well, the Red Sea was only 5 feet tall, and then the pastor, the rabbi, says back, well, isn't it even more impressive that God used it to stop the Egyptians then? Did you get it? Like, it's like, and this, what it is this like idea of positivity, like being like, well then, the
like Egyptians were short, okay? They were little people, all right? They were very small.
I have heard that some of them were small people.
Yeah. They worship death. Like, when I mean worship death,
it's super weird.
A murder was worshipped. Okay? What that means is, in ancient Egypt, if you murdered somebody, the mourning of that person would in essence be like a godlike experience. Like, there was a shrine, a monument, something. If this was an important person that was murdered, that's the type of culture you're dealing with. Which we don't. I mean, the only remnants.
I can't begin to imagine. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the closest we have is probably Egypt. Not Egypt. Sorry, Japan. Japan is probably the closest thing that we have to something like that.
I don't know anything about Japan's like burial. Japan, like rituals.
They have these little shrines. Sometimes they'll have them in the middle of the road or in villages, and it's a way of connecting with spirits. Japanese culture believes in very much in spirits.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they pray to their elders.
Mm-hmm. They believe that a part of their I'm butchering the crap out of it. Please do not
I don't know.
quote me as an historian. I'm just spewing shit that I kind of remember in this fucked up brain. Them as spirits, like this idea of spirits, like almost a part of their loved one, their deceased, stays attached to them in a spiritual way. And their way of like, bringing a candle and saying a prayer is their way of connecting to that part left by the person that has passed away, like giving honor and respect. I don't know. There is something so wild about it because I'm straight up. Japanese people are backwards as fuck. They're the most backwards people you will ever like. Can be very racist. They can be very rude. They are very cultural.
Can anyone?
Yeah, and they're very cultural restrictive. Like there is a lot of rules in Japan to be Japanese.
There was like a whole time period where Japanese people were isolated by their own choice. Like, could have went on for like more than 100 years. Where
until you had the Korean independence, which didn't really last very long, to be honest.
Ancient Japan, they did not want to interact with anyone. You could not come or go in any way.
It's an island. It's great. It's an island. It's a massive island in the middle of the ocean. Well, it's not in the middle of the ocean. It's from other continents, but
a lot of their art is really impressive.
It is.
Like a lot of their craftsmanship is like absolutely insane. Some of the different tools that they use.
People talk about how do the Egyptians build these pyramids? How do the Egyptians do all of these things?
Ancient aliens.
Yeah, but like look at Japanese.
Just kidding.
But look at Japanese people, right? Like look at Japanese culture at its core. They build some of the best electronics technology we know of on this planet. Some of the greatest advancements come out of the country. Maybe it's because of how highly advanced their culture is. They are an advanced culture.
I mean, it's the pyramids specifically that make people question. And I would say like a couple other things, but like the pyramids definitely like...
It's the big one, it's like the thing that everybody talks about.
Nobody's been able to really figure out how it was done.
I don't think they will for a long time. Because I don't think we're looking at it the correct way.
I don't think people want to like acknowledge like...
No, they don't.
Like the insanity of the inhumaneness of how it might have been made. Like it might have been like every time we lift a stone, it's just everyone dies. Like hundreds of thousands of people just die every stone. Like maybe we don't want to consider that. Like I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised like if they just killed
hundreds of thousands of people.
All their people while building their thing. And that, that is maybe part of the reason that it led to an exodus of the people, because working for the Egyptians is basically murder. Would be, I mean, they don't care. They're kind of trying to kill you anyways.
I think
maybe it was a murder machine. Maybe, honestly.
Possibly, but there's also like, I know this may sound far-fetched, but I think the idea of them possibly having outside source, maybe from a lost civilization, maybe it's from extraterrestrial life. Now, that is possible that could have involved a lot of manpower. So still, a lot of people died using a different form of technology. Like that still doesn't disregard that fact. All I'm saying is, it's strange that they're able to make those but we're not. We can't build the pyramids. Okay, just tell me.
I know, but they can't build a skyscraper. We can do shit they can't do.
True.
But it's like, yeah, we have the technology, we have the machinery, and we see no recognition.
But they're able to make a structure
anything like that.
They can make structures that can last thousands of years, but we make structures that will be gone if we abandon them within 100 years. Like, you see these skyscrapers now, like, you give it 100 years with no people around, yeah, they're not gonna, they're gonna collapse.
I have no idea, but I think it's really fascinating whenever somebody like starts to speak ancient aliens and they seem to know what they're talking about. I kind of just let them have it because I've never really looked into it too much. Like, I'm just like, oh yeah.
I don't want to. I just want to believe the cult, okay? Like, the lizard people are real and the aliens are in the sky, all right?
Aliens are definitely in the sky.
The lizard people are real. Like, our government are just lizard people dressed up as human beings.
P. Diddy, lizard people.
Lizard people. Kanye, a.k.a. Ye, lizard people.
I won't talk shit
Nancy
about
Pelosi,
Kanye.
Lizard people.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Her skin is kind of, like, are you going to shed, lady? Because time is nigh.
Not all snakes shed.
True.
That's actually not true.
No.
I just said that.
Yeah, all snakes, all reptiles particularly shed.
I don't actually know.
Well, I think it's because of, because they're cold-blooded, it has to do something with...
I don't really know. Like,
I just know that... I just know reptiles are really, really old. They've been around for millions of years. They shed, and they're cold-blooded, okay? That's all I know about lizards. Like, that's all you get.
I love the snake section at the zoo. I love those yellowy snakes.
I like seeing, like, the scary ones that can bite you. And then, like, trying to, like...
Louis, you're scaring me by barking.
Oh, my God. I like those snakes that have the fangs that can bite you, right? Like, they can really, like, put venom in your system. And they're, like, behind glass. And you just try to provoke them to get them to try to, like, hit the glass, like, almost trying to bite you. I think that is the coolest shit ever. All right? It's the coolest shit ever. No, you don't agree?
You're not supposed to, like...
provoke them. I know, but it's so fun. It's so fucking fun. Because they can't do anything to you. Like, there's glass. They can't bite you. Louis can bite them.
No, isn't that like in Harry Potter where he makes the glass disappear at the zoo and the snake like comes right after him? I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, he's able to like remove the glass and then he falls in and then he brings the glass back. That he's banging on the... Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
That's a good idea.
That's like the first movie. That's literally the first movie. That's like... Isn't that like the first, like, 5 or 10 minutes of the movie?
Possibly. That might be why I remember it. But in Nebraska... In Nebraska, they have the Omaha Zoo. So, Omaha, Nebraska, they have the Omaha Zoo. And... there's this really, really rich fucker that lives in Nebraska.
His name is Dudley Moore.
No, he's like freaking like nasty.
Dudley Charles Moore.
Nasty rich man. Not bad rich, but like he's an okay guy.
Dudley Charles Moore the third. We should wrap up in a few.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell you about the zoo though.
Take me to the zoo, where I can be with you. See the little animals. Run around.
Basically, the thing is
they
that
kill you.
the Omaha Zoo has this like really, really, really spectacular zoo. Like it's just like freakishly
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious zoo.
Because there's this billionaire that is worth like $135 billion.
Surprisingly not from India. Yes.
His name is Warren Buffett.
I don't know why when I hear his name, I want to say Warren Buffet. You know, and then if I say Warren Buffet, I immediately think of Phoebe Buffet. And then like I think of an idea of like, what if Phoebe Buffet in real life, let's see if this was real, would be related to Warren. To Warren Buffett. Because like his name could be pronounced Buffet.
I don't know how Phoebe Buffet spells her name.
Buffet. It's the same way Warren Buffett spells his last name, which is Buffet.
No. Phoebe Buffet is Buffay.
Oh. Well, scratch that. All right. It was a great idea. We had a great time with it. Sorry, we screwed up, but we'll catch you on the... No, not a great segue.
No, you're good. You can close it up. I was just going to say that this zoo in Nebraska is worth going to because this Nebraskan billionaire had donated billions of dollars to this, or at least millions of dollars to this zoo, and has like saved a lot of animals and created a lot of jobs for people and like done a lot of cool stuff in this, you know, small Nebraska community
in Omaha.
Yeah, so the zoo there is like bomb. So I've been wanting to go there because a lot of it is like outdoors, so it's nice to go like when the weather starts to get chilly. Like right when the weather changes is like a good time to go.
It's always a good time to go to Omaha.
I mean, there's not much to do.
No, there really is not a lot to do.
So sometimes you end up driving to
the
Nebraska.
Zoo. Yeah, just for the zoo.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
Peace out.
Peace out, motherfuckers. If you want to check out Karissa, you can find her at American Groove Pod on Instagram. We don't post very often, but anyway, you can send us a message there. If you want to check out the rest of the podcast, Lost in the Groove, find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Lost in the Groove Pod. So with that, what do we tell these motherfuckers, Karissa?
Thank you for listening.
Catch you on the next one. Peace out. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.